Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to Variety and Airs. Let's get to another bill search video. It's been a little bit since we have done one. I got some pocket money together of all different types over the last few days, so let's see what we can come up with. Looking for fancy serial numbers, ink problems, print problems, so on and so forth. But let's start right off. Series 2009 $1 note. Overall, nice beat-up condition. Nothing in the serial number. Everything seems to be printed appropriately. You're looking for shifts and things like that. One thing to look for would be shifts in the seals or the serial numbers, which typically coincide with one another. Nothing really jumping out on the back. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of issues around the Roman numerals for 1776. Some issues down here by kind of this filigree stuff going on, but doesn't seem to be the case there. 2009 series $1 note. Pretty beat up, so anything that would be collectible or an error is kind of obscured by the poor quality of the note. So just like any other collectible, it's important to keep things in the condition, at least that you came across them in. If they are collectible or an error note, good repetition of twos in this 2013 $5 note. Now, early 2000s, they redesigned the $5 note. Hey, Natalie, thank you for writing on this 5. Your name is out there. But they redesigned the $5 note just for anti-counterfeiting measures. That's what I was getting at a second ago. I do like the newer design, although it's almost 15 plus years old at this point. But new 5s are cool. 2017 A, so there's multiple series in the 2017 series. 2017 will mark no difference in the design nature of the $20 Federal Reserve note. The only differences are going to be the signatures here. Aside from that, this note is in really good condition. This might have been from the ATM, but I believe this is all from just straight up register change. Little bit of an kind of ink through, but it's so small and not dramatic that I wouldn't really hold on to it. Keep on keeping on. $1 note, series 2017, same deal there. Nothing's changed with the $1 note in 60 years or so, so nothing to talk about. Although a little bit of repetition of 3s here, nothing collectible or fancy. We're looking for different patterns and things of that nature when it comes to fancy serial numbers. This is a little wet ink transfer. Almost looks like a thumbprint, but it's just wet ink transfer from the face of the note that sat below this one. Couple digits off from a broken ladder. 2013 series $1 note. No changes graphically. Really beat up. Definitely has been wet at some point along this seam, so that detracts from value if it was collectible. 2017 series, we've seen one of these already, so nothing to talk about as far as changes, just the signatures there. And little wet ink transfer, but that's really common to get it around this margin throughout pretty much the whole reverse of the note. Yeah, I call these double year notes, 1518, 1605. Most likely there's been a figure or something like that that lived and died during this would cover their lifespan. I'll look up these dates, see if anything historically important happened, especially in U.S. history, and I'll post that in the description box. So I will set it aside. Although I wouldn't say that double year notes are super collectible. Interesting little annotation there. Uh, 2009 series $1 note. Yeah, a little bit of repetition of stuff, but nothing crazy going on. Little bit of shift in the seal here on the bottom right. Other than that, pretty beat up note. Nothing really to talk about as far as any print issues or anything of that nature. Series 2013 $5 note. Nothing to talk about as far as newer design features. They changed around some ink, as well as added kind of some changes to the constellation that's found amongst these 5s on the back. and a few other things, a watermark and a couple other things that added to anti-counterfeiting measures for smaller denomination bills like the $5 Federal Reserve note. Of course, on bigger bills such as 20s, 100s, 50s, you'll see that security strip that's added into notes to further make it more and more difficult to counterfeit them. They're talking about redesigning the $1 and $2 notes and possibly the 5 again, since they are the most counterfeited overall. Interesting serial number a little bit on this 2013 Series $1 note, but not really enough for me to hold on to. Yeah, pretty beat up as well, but oddly, not the worst condition bill we've seen so far. Another 2017 Series $1 note. At first glance, I thought this was kind of an ink issue, but it actually seems to just be damage. Some sort of moisture that hit the bill. Little bit of shift in the seals and serial number, but not dramatic enough to call an error. You're looking for a shift that's either to the right or left or up or down that's almost obscuring another portion of the bill, or is really far over from this area that the serial number would normally sit, or sitting high and touching this seal here for the Federal Reserve seal. Things of that nature. Back of the note. Nothing really jumping out too much there. Kind of beat up $5 note. Like I said, they're thinking about redesigning 5s, but with this whole coin shortage thing going on and all this stuff, we'll see kind of how what the future has to hold for both coinage and paper currency. Nothing going on there. This is just damage to the back. At first glance, it looks like an ink spatter, but it's not. It's just somebody messing around with a pen. Best condition 5 so far, not overly creased up and beat up, so that's the greatest thing about this hobby and going through doing bill searches. Worst case scenario, if you come across nothing, you end up with the same amount of money you started off with, and there's not many hobbies that can say that. There we go, nice little STARNOTE. I love me some STARNOTES. This is an older series too, 2013A. Little bit of a larger run. I'll look up the actual rarity of this STARNOTE amongst this series, and I'll put that in the description box as well as from that double year note. This one's really beat up and missing some of the ink here. It does show a good example of how U.S. currency is printed in a multi-phase process, and after wear through circulation, the quality of the seals and serial numbers that's left while the rest of the bill is depleting in overall value. Nothing really else jumping out. Damage on the back of the bill, but I'll set that aside as a nice little STARNOTE. Getting down there, last two, 2017 $1 note. Nothing going on in the serial numbers. Seal is sitting a little funky, but it's still within acceptable range. A nice blood smear on the back of this, so is what it is. And last but not least, 947947175. Nothing in the serial number. 2013 series note. And quite damaged overall. Nothing really jumping out. So what did we hold on to this bill search? We'll start off with our double year note. Super minor of a find. I would say more collectible than valuable, if anything at all. I will look up to see if anything happened in this date range. Put it in the description box. Last but not least, a nice STARNOTE, Series 2003A. I'll look up the run numbers on this. Put those in the description box as well. But let me know what you've come across in your coin and bill searches lately, and any other hobbies and collectibles you are into. Keep an eye out on some really cool other collectible videos that cover some other stuff that I like to get into as far as hobbies. And like always, thank you for subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.